Hi, this is Sweet June, Thursday, June the 4th, Thursday morning. I was just looking at this video that Tommy Sotomayor just did a day ago. I think he did it, well, it says here 22 hours ago, so he just did it. He just put it on yesterday. And he was talking about, it's interesting because he was talking about um, black women. I was like, okay, well, what is he putting on black women now? And what he's saying was, how black women there's a lot of black women out there protesting and everything, and talking about how a lot of black women are speaking out against George Floyd, getting murdered by the police. And he was saying that black women need to um, take black men off of child support. First of all, he was saying they need to prevent from getting pregnant in the first place, which I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Women do, I always talk about that on my channel of women. I'm a big advocate of women preventing single motherhood at all costs. I mean, you guys know I talk about that a lot on my channel. I agree. Women should use precautions, or I recommend abstaining until marriage. But if you don't abstain, you need to protect yourself, because being a black woman and single motherhood just doesn't mix. It just doesn't mix. So yeah, I agree. I'm in agreement with that. But however, I'm also in agreement with men. Guys, I talk about both sides of the fence. I don't just I'm not just one sided. Men need to take responsibility for their bodies too and use a condom. So it works both ways. And I've done a video talking about that too. Men need to take responsibility for their own bodies. And if you don't want a baby, then you need to put a condom on it or abstain. I recommend that with them too, because that's what God said. So it does go both ways. So, it's not just on the woman, but it's on the man too. But however, he was saying that women should take brothers off of child support because if a man falls behind on his child support and he gets arrested, he gets put in a position to where he's in this situation where he's either being beat up by the police or murdered. However, as I've stated in other videos, and I think I did a video talking about it, um, in most cases, I know here in the state of Michigan, and I'm going to do some research and find out what other states do that. But I'm be willing to bet that other states do that as well. Anytime a woman here in the state of Michigan, anytime a woman goes down and files, whether it be food stamps, child care assistance, Medicaid, it don't make no difference what it is. It don't make no difference if it's Medicaid, whatever. Um, um, a child care assistance. Because I know when I had my youngest son, I didn't qualify for any cash assistance or food stamps because I was working because of how much money I was working at the county nursing home at the time, and I was making because of what I was making. Um, I didn't qualify for cash benefits or food stamps. But I did needed some child care assistance. So I went down to apply for child care assistance, when I had my youngest son. And so they automatically put his dad on child support. So anytime a woman here in the state of Michigan, anytime a woman goes down to apply for any type of assistance, it don't make no difference what it is, they automatically put the man on child support. So it's in most cases. Now I'm gonna do a little research and find out because I can't tell you what other states are doing it, but I'm will be willing to bet that other states are doing the same thing. When the woman goes down to file for any kind of assistance, they automatically put the men on child support. So this is something a lot of black men don't understand. See, you need to be angry at the system more so than the black woman. And another thing, however, my thought is in both cases, I was when my oldest son, me and his dad was still together, and I went down and filed for back. This was in the early '90s before the welfare reform took place, and you can go get your little check and they pay your rent and pay your any utilities you had and give you your food stamps and Medicare the full nine the whole 9 yards. They give it to you. They give it all to you. And the system was set up differently in the early '90s. That was before the welfare reform. And you can go down and get your little check and all that kind of stuff. And you know, and so at the time when I had my oldest son, I wasn't working because I had a job, but I didn't go back to it because I didn't have any childcare. I literally did not have any childcare. And being my first child, I didn't I didn't feel comfortable with putting him in a daycare. Just worked at a daycare. I understand, definitely understand my concern now. So I decided to stay at home with him. And so I went down there and I, got applied for the full assistance, and they gave me a little check and they helped with my rent. I think they paid my rent and I got cash assistance, I got food stamps, Medicaid, the whole 9 yards. And then I was able to stay home with my son, and then I think when he was a year old, I went back to work. But anyway, and me and his dad was still together. We were still together. And he understood, he wasn't making enough money to, at that particular time, he just wasn't making enough money to give me everything that I needed, and he encouraged me to go down there. So, it is what it is. And they automatically put him on child support. He was the one that told me to go down there. And he understood that he was going to be put on child support. He understood that. So my thought is with that is, when you get a woman pregnant, okay, in order for the woman to not go down to the county to get assistance, okay, well, you need to be making sure that that child has everything that they need. Medical, helping the mother pay child care expenses, helping the mother with making sure that the child has enough food. In most cases, the woman is working too, in most cases. And so both of y'all can work, if the mother and the father can work together and make sure the child has what the child needs, including medical care, and then helping to pay child care expenses, okay, then the woman doesn't have to go to asking the state for nothing, okay? She ain't got to go down to the county and ask for the county for nothing if the woman and the man is working together. And the man is working in accordance with the woman and helping the woman to, take care of the child. In most cases, a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, men are not doing that. Men are not holding up their end of the bargain. And they don't want to do nothing to help the woman. And the woman don't have no choice but to go down there. And, the Bible says the man is the head. And any children that a man has, his responsibility is to help support those children. A man is supposed to take care of his kids. And so when a man runs off and doesn't want to help the woman with the children and then leave the woman by herself to fend for herself and that child, then a woman don't have no choice. If she's not making enough money, some cases she is working, but she may not be making enough money to provide medical expenses. If she paying rent, depending on where she live, well, she might not be able to afford to. She might need help with food. She might need food stamps. She might need child care assistance. She may not be making enough money to do all that so she got to go down to the county. She ain't got no choice but to go down to the county. Okay, if the man is not doing what he's supposed to be doing, and that's the issue that a lot of us black women have. When the men don't do what they're supposed to do, we got to do what we got to do. Well, my youngest son's dad, Okay, well, he decided that he wanted to. Well, I don't like calling him dad because he wasn't a dad. I would say his other parent, sperm donor, or whatever. He decided that he didn't make the decision that he didn't want to be a father. So, okay, he went on about his business and decided to try to ignore the situation. Well, I had to do what I had to do. When my son was born, I didn't make enough to qualify for anything, but I needed child care assistance. So I went down and applied for child care assistance, and they put him on child support. So I had to do what I had to do. And then we went back and forth, that's a whole nother video. We went back and forth. I was back and forth in court with him over the years. And then finally he was able to beat the system. At some point was able to beat the system because he's a barber by trade. So he was able to beat the system, and get out of paying altogether. Well, that's a whole nother video. So, and that's the issue that, like I said, a lot of us black women are having, that when the man decides that he doesn't want to hold up his end of the bargain, or he decides that he doesn't want to be a father, and we got to do what we got to do. We got to take care of the child the best way we can, and sometimes we need assistance in doing so. And when we do that, the state do what they got to do, because the state figure, well, okay, we helping her. Okay, well, we need to hold, the state feels like we got to hold both parents accountable. We got to hold the father. He's responsible for this child too, so we got to hold him accountable. Okay, so he don't want to voluntarily support the child, so we got to make him. Okay, so that it is what it is. So that's something that a lot of him and a lot of other men don't understand, is that a lot of times it's the state that's putting you on. It ain't the women. You got beef with the system. You ain't got no beef with black women. Black women, we just doing what we got to do at the end of the day. I'm all for not putting a man on child support if he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. If he's doing everything that he's supposed to be doing and helping me, I'm just using me as a parable. That ship is sailed. I'm done, obviously done with having kids. But I'm just saying, if you do what you got to do to assist me in taking care of this child, then, and we both work together, then I don't have no problem with not going down there. I've always been a reasonable person. I'm for, if my youngest son's dad had came to me and said, okay, well, I'm gonna do whatever I can to help you. Don't put me on child support. I'm a whatever if you need child, help paying for child care. Okay, I'll help you with paying child care or whatever. But don't put me on child support. I'll do whatever I can to help you. Then I would have been like, oh, okay. Well, I ain't got to run down to the county then. So I can, we can work together. And if he was willing to do that, then there's no way I would have went down there and did nothing. But he decided to ignore the situation and run from it. So I had to do what I had to do. And just in case some of you want to come on and say, well, why have the man's child in the first place? If you watch my content, I'm against abortion. I don't agree with abortion. And a woman shouldn't be murdering a child under any circumstances. Period. 2 people laid there and get it. 2 people need to take care of it. Plain and simple. Okay, hit me up in the comment section. Be nice. Let me know what your thoughts are. Be nice. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're new to my channel. Stay tuned. I got a chat video coming up that I'm going to be doing later on today, so stay tuned. Peace and love. This is Sweet June.